Take your time. You lot have drunk your share. Good thing Lord Walder's in a generous mood. Fucking phrase. Nice night for a wedding.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is following the first reflection of the semester, and after taking a first look at Elegy of a Dead World, I started comparing it to other games we tested in class and games that I play in my free time. So Elegy didn't resonate with me like I thought it would, but that is only because of the way narrative was being explained by the player, you. I didn't really find that all too interesting because I like to play games that have stories for me to explore that were written or have some kind of choice that you can make. Which brings me to the game we had to play outside of class, which mine was the Telltale game series for Game of Thrones.
It's been on my mind for a while now. Something must be done.
With me, my lord.
You served House Forrester well.
It's still a work in progress, but it is a really interesting game. Being my first time playing a Telltale series game, I wasn't really sure what to expect, especially because I've only seen Let's Play videos of other games. But it's a really different experience when you are actually in the moment talking with another character and you have to choose a voice option very quickly, and the scene then just plays out like it normally would. So now I'm really interested in the way that interactive stories can be played with and explored in the Telltale series games. So I might end up playing some more in the future, but it really has you be on your toes, paying attention to what other people are saying in order to give a proper response. And that part I really enjoy because it means you're really, really in depth and paying attention to the story. The other game that we played in class a while back ago was September 12th, and it was actually less of a game and more of a simulation that was originally created as a learning tool. The idea here was that the violence in the name of peace creates violence, and it's illustrated by using a simple shooting mechanic. Your crosshair is meant to follow a terrorist, but the shot was actually an explosion that created mass destruction, sometimes hitting civilians and buildings in the process. Eventually, you start to see a pattern, and that pattern being that the more terrorists you try to kill, the more terrorists you create. As the game states when you start it, you can choose to shoot or not to shoot. So I took a pacifist run on my second time, and I didn't actually shoot anything, and I counted that there were about 3 terrorists that were still walking around, opposed to the huge amount of terrorists that was being created on my first playthrough when I was shooting everything that I could try to hit the terrorists for. So the commentary on this game was particularly interesting as the simulation went on. Lastly, I want to talk about how mechanics can help tell a story. And just so it's clear, I'm talking about mechanics as in how a player interacts with the game. Elegy for a Dead World had simple mechanics. You could move left or right, use a jetpack to fly around and move faster, and interact and write words left on articles using the keyboard. September 12th had only one mechanic, and that was to move the mouse and click, or not click, depending. In Game of Thrones, well, you only had a certain amount of time to make a choice, and even saying nothing was considered a choice. So what I'm getting at here is that mechanics can really help tell a story. The way you want to look at it is that all 3 games had some form of mechanic that helps change the story throughout the process of action and reaction. And I think mechanics are probably one of the more essential parts of telling a story through games. So I'll get a little bit more into that in my next video. But in the meantime, thank you for watching and have a nice day.